Peace, peace. What's good, my peoples? Welcome to I Am the Bridge. Thanks for tuning in. So let's go ahead and get into this. When to knowing when to invoke deities. Okay, so a while ago I read Egyptian Yoga by Muwada Ashby, and it was really informative on all the Egyptian deities and Egyptian culture as a whole. What I had a small problem with the when I was reading the books. I kept noticing that they kept calling it a religion, and whenever I hear that word, it's like I'm just not with it. You know what I'm saying once I hear that word, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, well, why do they keep calling it a religion? Egyptian yoga, and in the description of his school, he calls it a religion. All right, to each his own. I'm saying nothing against that, but okay, what I got out of it is pretty much, um, and once I read this, I started actually really like putting so much effort into practicing the this principle here. Okay, it's like deified to be God is to be dispassionate and detached and dispassionate, like Lucy in that movie when she kissed the guy in the movie, and he was like, "Why'd you do that for?" And she was like, "So that I don't forget." During the movie, the more Lucy gained godhood, the less detached she became from her humanity, detached and dispassionate. She touched her friend's hand and she could run off. Yeah, you're gonna die in like 3 weeks if you don't do this, that, and third. And what I notice is, it's actually true. You know, the more you come into like fuck godhood, you know what I'm saying, more you come into your titan, to your the more you begin to reawaken your soul, which is a titan trapped in this prison, which is your body, or this third dimensional reality, by the gods of this reality, the false weak gods. Yeah. All my titans, yo, y'all know what I'm talking. Well, that's a whole nother video. But anyway, okay. Once you become a realized soul, realize who you are. You're not your ego. Um, well, it's you start to you start to become a little bit. Uh, see, different people are gonna have different results. Okay, with me, I started to get like real short tempered with people at first. Still, sometimes I can be that way, very short tempered. But that's because I'm still too attached to my humanity. I'm still too close to being human. Godhood is actually becoming, learning to master being detached and dispassionate, because God is objective. God understands that there's no concept of good and evil. This concept of good and evil came to us by way of religion. You know what I'm saying? This concept, we're not going to get into that conversation, but you know, it came to us by way of religions, the concept of good and bad, good and evil. When these concepts are inseparable, one cannot exist without the other, two sides of the same coin. Everything in this existence, if it exists, it has its complete opposite. Um, that's actually what the reverse side of the tree of life deals with, that sexy tension. You know what I'm saying? That necessary tension. You know, if things were smooth all the time, that would be boring. You know, you can see a couple that never fights or never has any tension, any friction, And that's death. It's death. Okay? You need tension, friction in life. That's what the spark of life is. That's what electricity is. That's what, that's what makes everything fun, baby. Sexy. Okay, so achieving godhood tantamount to becoming detached and dispassionate. So that's where, when you see all of these events, and man, everybody has an opinion. Everybody is so riled up about everything nowadays. I mean, the smallest thing has set somebody off. Everybody has oh, I feel this way about, opinions. Everybody's angry. Everybody's happy. Everybody, and that actually goes into that will actually take you into the law of rhythm, because every action that you have, if you reach this extremity of joy, you can expect the exact opposite to the extreme. To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I know that's physics, but it still ties into metaphysics. Um, so, also, when I was reading Muwada Ashby's book, Egyptian Yoga, I read like 3 volumes, man. Some great stuff. Great stuff. Pick out the jewels, He didn't really, in the books, I didn't really see how he called it a religion. I guess, if you were to go to his school in Miami, more than likely, you'd have to follow a dogma, indoctrination, a religious dogma, more than likely to belong to his group. But it's cut to the, cut and dry, straight to the point. Um, and what I noticed was when I was reading about all of these Egyptian deities, it was like, okay, I realized that these are traits, characteristics that some of them I recognized that I was displaying them. So that was the first clue. And then it came to me that each deity, no matter what folklore, mythology, what culture you're looking at, these deities are just energies, they're ways of thinking. You know, there may be a time when I need to discern. I need to have some really good judgment skills of judgment. So I would invoke Anubis, the discerner, or I might need orator skills. So that would be Papa Legba. And so forth and so on. Okay, so that's pretty much what I got out of that, and it was really informative. It was really helpful, because every now and then, or actually every day, in your everyday um, interactions, you're going to need to know there's going to be instances where you're going to need a fiery spirit. There's going to be instances where you're going to need a water spirit, a cool and calm, collective, charismatic approach. You might need an aggressive, fiery approach. And these are all tantamount to deities. The different energies, the different ways that you would approach a situation. Now, if you can identify each deity and their characteristics, then that's another arsenal in your armory. That's another, armament for you, can help you out along your way. Because, man, believe me, man, it's a lot of games, a lot of games played in society. What I noticed as well, man, society really does not appreciate directness. Society is very deviant. That's the opposite of direct. And if you are a direct person, you're looked at as strange. You're abnormal. You're abnormal, and who actually take a look around, man. Do you really want to be normal in this society? Everything that you know, how do you know it? Everything that you were taught, where did it come from? Who are the people that are telling you what's good and what's evil? Who are they exactly? Where did these concepts, these ideas, this social consciousness, where does it come from? How's it working? How do you feel? How do you feel about life, your everyday life? Some people are in love with life. Some people are the opposite of in love with life. You know what I'm saying? It's all about results. Do you love the results of your thinking? Because in all actuality, you create your reality. Now, mind you, the social consciousness will put a ceiling on you. That's why, like, Buddhist monks, Tibetan monks, they live in the mountains of the Himalayas, tucked away from the rest of society, because they don't deal with the social consciousness, the ceiling of social consciousness. There's a term for that, man. Yalda both. Shout out Oni, Osaru, Shannon Jeffries, Sirius Blackamore. Word up. There's a term for that Yalda both. The demiurge, social consciousness. It's all the same thing, pretty much. It's the social consciousness, the social construct, it's the matrix. Okay? If everybody believed that they could fly and they didn't need an airplane, if everyone knew that you can walk through solid objects, or you could reverse the magnetic field to levitate anything on this planet. If people knew this, then it would be done easily. It would be done like nothing. The same way in those monasteries, those monk monasteries. Don't have to believe. Hey, look, man. I don't care. I'm not here to debate. I wasn't put here on this planet to debate, argue with anybody. Bottom line. But in these monasteries, there's a reason why these monks, they can do things like levitate, walk through walls, or you name it. They don't have the ceiling of the social consciousness. They don't live within the matrix. They're unplugged. So, everything that you know, how do you know it? Where is this information coming from? Do you ever challenge that information? The same information that you're being told, when you look at people in lofty positions, or positions that you want to be, or positions of power and success, whatever, with the desirable results that you want, when you look at the social constructs, constraints that are put on the masses, do you see people with the results that you want out of life? Because everybody wants money, power, respect, and so forth and so on. Do you see the people at the top of the ladder following the same rules that they are handing down? Oh man, Yeah, man, know when to invoke deities, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get all on. Don't listen to the hype, man, and all the dogma and doctrine that this is evil and this is good. Two sides of the same coin, people. All right. Till the next time. I am the bridge.com and all that.